We're headed to the brewery where all the locals go for great food and some of the best beer in town. Welcome to Bevel Craft Brewing.
My name is Justin Selmer. I'm one of the partners here at Bevel Craft Brewing. Behind this mural is our production area, and then we have a small tap room inside and this nice large patio to enjoy these wonderful Central Oregon winter days.
Bevel came into being when two professional disc golfers fell in love.
Nate and Val, my partners, we were all professional disc golfers. They are 7-time world champions between the two of them. I'm a 1-time state champion, so it's a little better in my opinion. But we all met out and through a mutual friend, fell in love with craft beer individually and came together over our love for that. And here we are a few years later and business is going great.
And while they met over the flight of a disc, it's the flight of beer that really makes Bevel stand out.
So on our flights, because we all did meet playing disc golf, we definitely wanted to have that be a part of what we do with our flights. So we took a Frisbee and we served 5 5-ounce pours, cut right into that Frisbee and bring it out to your table.
But full confession, I didn't just bring Elsa here for the beer. I brought her here for one of the creme de la creme of food cart indulgences. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Ahi Tuna Nachos. Ahi tuna, served over fried wontons with a house-made sriracha sauce and a creamy wasabi aioli, all colliding in a blissful mashup with our hot beverages in a way that can only be described as just east of heaven. God, I love Bend.
Bend is a very accepting community of craft beer. There are currently, I believe, 24 craft breweries here in Central Oregon with only 100,000 people, so that puts us right at the top for most breweries per capita in the country. Great water, great community, great people, equals great beer.
We are headed to the brewery that may have the best view in town.
All right.
Now, Elsa's a craft beer fan, as am I, and we both share a fondness for IPAs. So I decided to introduce her to my friend who is a maker of one of the better IPAs in Bend, the owner of Crux Fermentation Project, Larry Sidor.
You met Elsa?
Yep,
Yes.
met Elsa. Glad to meet you.
Is there anything that you would want people who love Bud and Coors to know about craft beer? What are they missing out on?
Oh, that's a great question. So disclaimer, Miller, Coors, Bud, they make very high quality bland beer. You know, and so it's the milk toast, the white bread of beer. And there is so much flavor that craft offers that they don't, and that's my 2 cents there. I mean, when I started brewing with Olympia Brewing Company, they were in fact a craft brewery. I mean, even though they were a mass brewery, but one of the worst days in my life is when we were having a strategic planning meeting, and the marketing guys were saying, Larry, the closer you can make beer to water, the more we can sell.
Really?
Oh, it killed me. It absolutely killed me. And it really, I mean, that was the Miller Lite, the taste great, less filling days, in which they were dumbing down beer. They were making, beer as close to water as they possibly could and using athletes to sell it. So, good for them.
Since beer flights are our focus this time out, we put together a list of samplers from stouts to a smoked grapefruit flavored fruit beer, and Larry shared how it's his wife who is one of his better consultants when it comes to beer.
Well, it's good to hear that women are enjoying your beers too. Do you think that that's something that's changing with the craft beers, where there's more variety?
Oh, absolutely. I have been challenged a few hundred times while I was working down here brewing beer, and a woman would come in and said, well, I don't like beer. And I'd go like, I'll bet you I can find something you like. And it is. I don't think I've ever failed of finding a beer that a lady doesn't like. Whether it's a Saison or it's some of the fruited beers we have or whatever. I mean, it is the moniker of make it as close to water as possible is gone. So I think that, very, very interesting beers people will enjoy.
Our flight is ready, and it's time for Larry to tell us why you, as a craft beer fan, need to put Bend on the top of your to-do list.
So can you tell me about the craft beer scene in Bend?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm so thrilled with the craft scene in Bend. One of the things that I've done in the past is go to Burton-on-Trent in England, and it at one time was the world producer of IPA. I mean, they made more barrels of beer than any other place in the world, and they have an ale trail there. And so I went on the ale trail, and it was pretty funky. And then you come back to Bend, and we've got a fantastic ale trail going through all the different breweries and whatever. So I mean, the scene in Bend is just, it's fantastic. I can't say enough good about it. I mean, we have a whole variety of breweries. You've got all the big guy, the second guy in town, Deschutes Brewery, to the folks almost brewing in a garage. So you get a lot of most interesting beers you can try and sample.
Well, should we do a flight?
Yeah, let's do a flight.
Let's do a flight.
Let's do a flight.
Okay.
All right.
Besides the local brew pub, Crux can be found on shelves and in pubs throughout Oregon and Washington, in Idaho around Boise, and the Bay Area and Humboldt County in California. And if you look really hard, you may just find them on your next trip to Japan or the Netherlands.